Hello. Today we're trying to learn how to search databases, and we made it to this spot by clicking on the link to the database Academic Search Premier. But I feel like we are not alone. Who's there?
Just an old friend.
Skeletor!
Are you here to pledge your loyalty to the new ruler of Eternia?
No, we really want to learn how to search databases, and we don't know where to start.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
Will you help us?
Just as soon as I get the energy crystals and the formula to make them.
We can't offer you that.
Very well. Perhaps my pet Panther will put you in a more reasonable state of mind.
How do we start?
I'll talk and you'll obey.
What if we want to leave?
Never fear, fool. There is no way out.
Great. But we really only have about 4 minutes for this.
I don't need 4 minutes to defeat you.
Who made these databases?
It's the sorceress, you boob.
I doubt that. I think it's probably the publisher called Ebsco. What do you call people who only search one database at a time?
Morons!
Alright, so we'll just select all of the databases by clicking on this button right here. Skeletor, what would you say if we just started typing in this basic search box?
Dolts, halfwits, bunglers, brainless idiots.
I guess we'll select the advanced search then. Now you will notice when you're accessing these databases like I am from a location outside of a campus that the advanced search looks a heck of a lot like the basic search. When you're on campus, you'll see a number of search boxes appear here with some drop-down boxes on each side. But this still looks pretty complicated.
Now we're playing in my dimension, and I make all the rules.
Where will someone be forced to go if they make a mistake here?
To the crossroads of all universes, where he is destined to spend the rest of his days wandering an alien world, not knowing who he is or where he came from.
Then we'll try to do this without making a mistake. So let's say that we want to research the term psychology. If we type that in and hit enter, we end up with 2.7 million plus results.
What?
We can find even more results if we change up the term psychology by eliminating the ology portion and just looking at psych. Words that start with psych include psychology, psychologist, psycho, psychologies, and we can actually look for all of those terms at once just by adding in an asterisk. This form of searching is called truncation. As you see, we've added a couple million more hits.
Am I supposed to be frightened?
I suppose not, but we will want to limit the amount of hits that we have received. Let's say that we are really interested in researching child psychology. If we add in the word child, the system will automatically put the and in between these words. An and in this context means that it's going to perform a Boolean search. George Boole was a British philosopher and mathematician who found a logical way to perform searches by putting in the words and or not. And will encourage the database to look for the words child and psych with all of its different variations through all of the different resources found within it. Anything that has the words child and psych plus an ending will be brought back to the list. So if we hit search, we will see that this number will now shrink. And we're down to 200,000.
Surely you can do better than that.
I think we can as well. For example, if we try to implement a little more of the Boolean search terminology. For example, the word child is a term to describe a young person, we could also use the term juvenile. So if we put a parenthesis before child, we type in the word or in capital letters, and then the term juvenile, finish the parenthesis, we're now telling the database to search for child or juvenile, as well as psych and all the various endings. And we should find that there actually are a little more results than what we have in the list right now.
Think so?
And see, we are correct. There's a couple thousand more entries. I think we neither need Skeletor anymore, nor need to be in this database searching. I can just pick whatever article I want and be finished.
A lot of good you are, Beast Brain. And you'll leave when I tell you to.
Okay, we'll keep going. If we want to further limit our list of results, we can tell the database to search for the term psych with all of the different endings just within the title of the article, not in the abstract or the full text. If I put a parenthesis here and then type in capital letters TI, leave a space, and close the parenthesis, it's now going to perform this search as I've asked. I hope.
You'll see about that.
As you see, it has limited our search results quite a bit, bringing it down to 23,000. If we want to use the final search term not, we can type that in here, N-O-T, and let's say we're not interested in research about children in psychology in New York. So to type an exact phrase, we would put in quotes, New York, and perform another search. Skeletor, we need your help. As you see, another 1,000 results have been shaved off the top. I think we're being quite successful in our searching without too much help from you, Skeletor.
If I'm not there, nothing is done right.
Really, what's going to happen if we tell you to leave?
This.
Okay, I guess we'll keep your help after all. Let's put in one more set of terms, or a little more code, into our search box here. I'm going to type in and in capital letters, just so you know that that's a Boolean term. And we're going to tell it in parentheses to look for the words bipolar and disorder. But we want it to look for these words close together. We don't want one word to appear at the beginning of the article and one at the end. So we're going to put in the code N5. And what that means is we want bipolar to be within 5 words of disorder. You could change this number to say 2, to say 8, to say 10. It doesn't really matter, whatever your preference is. And then we will select search. Skeletor? And now you see we're down to 220 results, which still is really too many to read on our own.
Silence, you furry fool! I've had it with your whining and bumbling.
Now, if we're being honest with ourselves, a lot of times we're trying to do this research and write our papers right before they're due, like a day or two before.
Honest men do an honest day's work, or I destroy their village.
So, if we need information quickly, we know that just having an abstract of an article like this one is not going to help us, because we're not giving the library enough time to find that article for us from somewhere else in the collection or from another library. So if we actually want to limit this down a little more, we're going to click on this full text button, and that will only provide us with results that have the actual full entire article attached to it.
What? Spoil all my fun?
I think it would be a mistake just to use any general type of material for my research.
Not as big as the mistake you're about to make.
Nevertheless, I'm going to select the scholarly peer-reviewed journal option so that the only results in the list will be from peer-reviewed journals.
Any more questions?
Not really. I'm starting to figure out things for my own. For example, if I want really recent information, I can change this publication date. So for example, if I want information from the last 5 years, I can change this to 2009 and click here. And I see that I'm down to 5 remaining articles. I think I can complete this without you.
Perhaps someday you will, but not today.
Are there other easy ways for me to narrow down my results?
Here, see for yourself.
I see. If I scroll down the side of the page, there will be further limiters here. For example, if I only want academic journals out of this list, I click here, and it cuts it right down. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy with our final results.
Well, who asked you, you little vermin?
There's no reason to be rude about it. I imagine that there is some more info that I can see by clicking on either the title or the full text of each article.
That's what you think.
Let's start with clicking on the title. Here you can see all of the basic bibliographic information, title, authors, the title of the journal, as well as the volume, issue, and pages involved. Also, there are some subject listings. If you click on one of these subject listings, it'll start a new search and will find only articles that also have that same subject listing. Further down the page, you'll see an abstract, which is a basic description of the article. And finally, you can look at the full text.
Not so fast, my pretty.
This is happening whether you want it to or not. Click on the link to the PDF full text, and it will bring up a PDF of the actual physical pages that appear in the journal. In a Windows environment, you can click on Control F. In a Mac environment, you can click on Command F, and it will bring a search box that will allow you to search for any term or word that you choose. So I've typed in youth here, and it shows there's 2 matches, and it will actually skip around the article showing me where those matches appear. Another handy thing about this part of the system is that if you move over to the side here and hover over this button, you'll see it says Cite. If you click on the button, it will actually bring up the citations in each popular citation style. So here's the APA style citation. You can copy this and paste it out in your references page, although I always recommend that you check all of the details. For example, this here is showing each letter, first letter of each word in the title capitalized, which is not actually proper APA style. So that's it. We've done it.
I've done it, you mean?
Make sure that you save the article to a safe place for easy reaccess.
At last I won!
Huh?
This is the way it had to end, with Skeletor triumphant at last!
I don't think you've won anything. We are now independent researchers.
You will serve my purpose.
No.
You will do as you are told.
We're leaving.
You wouldn't dare.
Your minions can't stop us either.
No, you coward! Come back here!
You are finished, Skeletor.
Now I'll have to find another way to claim the throne of Eternia.
That's right.
Get out! Go! And don't let me see your mangy hide around here again!
We do what we want.
Get out of my sight!
Until next time, Skeletor.